Hey foodies, this is Foodie Phil and Critic Rebecca.
And Phil, guess what time of year it is?
March Madness.
Close.
Bachelor finale?
Surprising that he knows that. No?
Lent?
St. Patrick's Day!
St. Patrick's Day?
So we're gonna make some corned beef.
Fantastic. Let's get into it.
For our corned beef with the sous vide, we're gonna have a cup of broth. So I'm just dissolving a beef bouillon cube in the water, but you can use a can or a box or whatever you have on hand.
And our beef bouillon cubes are for 2 cups, so we split it in half.
And there is our corned beef brisket, and it has a pickling spice packet included. So I'm just gonna take my meat out, some blood in the bag. You don't need that, so you can just kind of keep that out of it. And get your spices all over your meat. And you should also have a gallon-sized freezer bag ready. If you need a bigger bag, if your brisket's even bigger, you can have a 2-gallon size bag, but a 1-gallon size bag should probably fit it. We have, I think it's about a 2 to 3 pound brisket there.
And we're gonna dissolve the bouillon fully there, get a nice color, because that's going to be the juice that goes around our corned beef.
So you're gonna pour that in. You need a vacuum seal to cook with the sous vide. So you're going to get your water all set up in your pot, push the bag under the water so that you can pushes all the air out of the bag. So you'll open it up and then you can push it down under the water, but not fully. You want enough, it's still right above, and then that's when you'll zip it closed. And you're gonna set that to 180 degrees and you're gonna cook it for 6 to 8 hours. At 180, it's pretty high for the sous vide, and water will start to evaporate out. So if you aren't able to watch it, make sure that you maintain that water level, because if the water level gets too low, it will stop working. We accidentally overcooked our corned beef because it evaporated too much and the sous vide stopped working overnight, so we wanted to cook it the next day just to make sure that it was fully cooked through. But the longer that you cook it, the more tender it will become. And so we took it out, and since we weren't eating it right away, we put it in the fridge and let it cool down. And then when you're ready to eat it, you're gonna wanna re-warm it up to the center. So I just set it to 145 here, and just let it warm up for about half an hour so that it's warm all the way through to the center. And then you're going to want to sear the outsides of it to give it a little bit extra color. So you can take it out of the bag, and you're gonna wanna dry off some of that extra liquid around the outside so you can get a good sear. So you're gonna wanna start preheating your cast iron pan really hot so you can get a good sear. It's already fully cooked through to the center, so you don't need to cook it any longer. You're just wanting to get that extra color and sear on the outside.
So I would say medium high to high, just to get that sear. And we did not use any oil, as some of the extra liquid should be fine.
And there's fat in that brisket as well, and it'll sear pretty quickly. So you're just gonna wanna try to sear all the different sides of it. And you can already see that it's kind of falling apart because it's so tender from being cooked for that long. So we decided to do a shredded corned beef, and so I just shred it, and it was super tender and good, and you can use it for a lot of different things, like a corned beef hash, or just eating it. We just ate most of it and it was delicious. So, but you can see it's just falling apart there. And so that's how we cooked it with the sous vide.
Beautiful plate.
All right, so we decided to give this another go. We thought we would do it in the crock pot. We're gonna have enough broth to cover it, and you want enough broth actually to go over it. So I started with some hot water so that the bouillon will dissolve. I used a roasted beef bouillon, and you're just gonna wanna mix that in, and it'll dissolve more as it cooks, but you just kinda wanna mix it in there. And I did, I think, about 6 cups of water, so you'll want about 6 tablespoons of bouillon in there. This is about a 3-pound corned beef brisket. One other trick I do with the crock pot is if it's gonna cook for 6 to 8 hours, but if you have a little bit less time, you can put it on high initially and get it warmed up to, you know, probably for just about half an hour. And that will get it going cooking faster, and then you want to turn it back down to low. So we're gonna cook this on low, and I attempted, and it was actually ready at like 5.5, 6 hours. So you'll want to check it to make sure, but the longer you cook it, the more tender it will become. So we cooked this for 6 hours, and we were able to slice it, but it was still very tender and good. Oh, there, I found this pickling spice packet. I was looking for it. So you're gonna want to, again, add your pickling spices to your corned beef.
This is one of our favorite set and forget meals.
And one thing I love about corned beef is it's really cheap. I mean, especially this time of year, around St. Patrick's Day, I found it like $2 a pound at Aldi's and on sale even at a local grocery store. So it's a very reasonable meat for your family. I usually like to buy one and to make and then one to freeze for later. So take advantage while they're around and on sale, and it's a good filling meal for your family.
We like doing Reubens. Homemade Reubens are fantastic with Thousand Island dressing and sauerkraut.
And Swiss cheese.
Or making just this, mashed potatoes, green beans for your classic.
Corned beef, it is a brined meat, so it's going to be a little saltier than a normal meat, so that's just something that if you're not expecting it, it might be surprising, but it's very good and tasty. But yeah, make a Reuben, make it for a meal, have it to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Have it with a shamrock shake.
There we go. And that's corned beef, a way to celebrate St. Patty's Day without the snakes.
Have a good one. Like and subscribe.
Tell us in the comments what recipes you want us to make, and we will see you guys next week. Hope you have a great day. Hey, foodies! Oh,
Sorry.